are we really teaching people the core message of the gospel? Because, Rick, I don't know about you, but I'm still hearing from men and women who are 70 and 80 years old. They spent their entire lives in church, and they still don't know, am I forgiven? What's the final judgment going to be like? Is God going to be mad at me? Am I going to pass or fail? Is Jesus going to tell me, depart from me, I never knew you? You know, people are freaked out. They're scared. They don't know the gospel. So we're doing a really good job at entertaining people. We got horses on stage, and we got Harleys driving down the center aisle, and we got smoke rolling out. But if people don't know if they're forgiven or not, that's a problem.
Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. Make that Faith Talk today. I'm Rick Probst, and I am so glad you're here this weekend. What a great Atlanta weekend. I'm calling it a rockin' weekend because rocking the boat again with his message of grace. It's Dr. Andrew Farley. We're going to talk to him about a book that he put together with a guy named John Lynch. It's a fiction book, but I don't know. It's got me ready to read. It's going to be a really cool book. It's called Gospel Zero. We'll talk about it in a second. Thank you so much for watching us and listening to us and downloading those podcasts. We see the numbers. They're huge. I mean, huge. Thank you very much. And continue to pass those around. Get your podcasts wherever you get your podcasts or Faith Talk Today. Doc, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Rick. Thanks for having me on today, my friend.
Absolutely. Here we are now. I'm out of the studio today, kind of in the dining room. I look like Princess Leia, I think, with my headphones on. But you say I look okay and I look cool, so I'm good with that. Thank you very much.
Hey, big headphones are back, Rick. You're in style. You're in style.
Hey, let's talk about this book, Gospel Zero, Reclaiming the Radical Message of Grace. I've got a press release here, and I highlighted some stuff. I want to read it to you here. Best-selling author Andrew Farley and renowned storyteller John Lynch echo the voices of God's messengers in the 21st century. Listen to this. Delivering fiery, blistering, and hilarious letters to the modern church. Well, what a setup. Where do we go from there?
Yeah, so what if the apostles were alive today, Rick? What would they say to us? They're tweeting out stuff. What would it look like? Would they be angry with us? Would they be frustrated? Would they be happy? I mean, we got the health wealth gospel. We're showing that off. That's kind of embarrassing. We got all kinds of big budget church programs. We're spending millions and billions of dollars. And then some people are in church for a decade or even 5 decades, and they still don't know the gospel. So that's a problem. What would the apostles say about that? So these letters are fun, they're witty, they're funny, but they're also biting and sarcastic. And I think people are going to be entertained, but most importantly, it really calls us to question our focus today. And are we really teaching people the core message of the gospel? Because, Rick, I don't know about you, but I'm still hearing from men and women who are 70 and 80 years old. They spent their entire lives in church, and they still don't know, am I forgiven? What's the final judgment going to be like? Is God going to be mad at me? Am I going to pass or fail? Is Jesus going to tell me, depart from me, I never knew you? You know, people are freaked out. They're scared. They don't know the gospel. So we're doing a really good job at entertaining people. We got horses on stage, and we got Harleys driving down the center aisle, and we got smoke rolling out. But if people don't know if they're forgiven or not, that's a problem.
There's so many things I want to say. Dr. Andrew Farley, the book is called Gospel Zero. Watch out now for the Harleys, okay? We're getting really close to the host right now. Not in church, but Harley.
Yeah.
All right, so wait a minute now. This is a fiction book.
Yeah.
There are so many elements of truth, what you just said. Why fiction?
Yeah, because fiction makes it fun. I mean, look, I've written 11 books, but I've never been a part of a book like this. John Lynch, my co-author, is freaking hilarious. He's like Robin Williams getting saved. I mean, oh my goodness. The guy has deep insights, but he's also got incredible wit. And so he joined me on this book. We're where basically every chapter is a letter, and it's short and it's easy to read, but you're laughing and then you're going, wait a minute, that hits close to home. And so you're learning about the beauty of the gospel. You're learning that God is actually good, that he likes you. The whole do more, be more, try harder thing, that flavor of legalism that we've bought into today, where everybody's trying to get closer to God, as if you could like inch closer to him every day if you just read another paragraph. And if you just go to church enough and give enough money and volunteer enough, then you'll eventually get close to God, and make sure you're having your quiet time, and everybody's freaked out and guilted out. Well, we're addressing that, but in a fun way. We're poking fun at the legalism of today, and we're pointing people to Jesus.
Yes, Doc, I'm exhausted. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dr. Andrew Farley, he is author and speaker. The Grace Message is a great show that he has, and you can, I think it was yesterday, he talked about anxiety, if I remember correctly. So that's, there's a great list library there. Check them all out. The new book is called Gospel Zero, Reclaiming the Radical Message of Grace. And that's what he does. Listen, when you got together with John, who had the idea first, or were you guys just kind of laughing at each other about different topics and subjects, and this just spilled out? How'd you get this together?
Yeah, so it was my idea to write this book. I've had it in my head for a few years, but, getting to the point where you say, hey, John, you need to be a part of this because you're going to make it so much better. I mean, that happened about a year ago. So then we dove in, and I'm texting John, hey, man, let's talk about forgiveness. Give me everything you got. And then he's sending me one-liners and sentences and paragraphs. He's the artist, and, he's kind of scattered, and he'll send you all kinds of amazing ideas. And then I'm the guy that pieces it together and goes, wow, now we really got something that's entertaining and fun and yet provocative and making you think.
Well, I love that, because here in the release it says, and I wanted to talk about it, it says this book will infuriate and inspire you. How is it going to infuriate us? Well,
people today, I guess if the Pharisees 2,000 years ago, if they had smoke machines, you probably couldn't tell the difference. So we got more technology, we got bigger buildings and more technology, but people are still not quite getting the gospel. And so I think that's what's going to make people mad when we poke the bear, when we're ruffling some feathers and rattling some cages. People are going to go, wait a minute, and they'll throw stones at it saying it's too much grace, greasy grace, hyper grace, too much grace, whatever they want to call it. But the bottom line is we can't be compromising on God's grace because God's grace is what inspires us. So we're inspired by the love and forgiveness and grace of God. The grace of God is what teaches us to say no to sin. So we need more grace, not less grace.
Love it. Dr. Andrew Farley, the new book is called Gospel Zero. It is out. You can get it at his website, also Amazon. Great place to go. Gospel Zero, Reclaiming the Radical Message of Grace. Love that. I read that this is kind of a seismic shift for everyone. How do you want us to shift? How do you want us to lean on this?
Yeah. So, basically, look, I think there's a few core messages of the book. We got people sitting in church for decades on end being told they have a wicked heart, being told that they need to get their heart right with God. Well, if you're a Christian, you have a new heart. And so we need to be real clear about our heart. The believer's heart is new. We shouldn't be thumbing through the Old Testament to find a verse that says we have a deceitful, wicked heart, when in fact we've been born again and we have a new heart and a new spirit and God living in our heart. So God cleaned house, and he moved in, and he radically changed us at the core of our being. And we want people to know that. The second thing is, I would say, we got people begging for forgiveness. It's like we're trying to pay off our car or pay off our mortgage. We got people begging and pleading for forgiveness every day, every hour, every sin. Little by little, we're trying to engage in spiritual breathing, confess and get more forgiveness, and confess and get more. Well, that is more Old Testament than New Testament. Jesus says we're forgiven once for all. We're forgiven past, present, and future. So the gospel is about 10 times better than we ever thought it was. And we want people to realize that. And that's what we're doing in Gospel Zero through humor, through wit, through sarcasm. We're poking fun at legalism. And then we're saying, hey, the gospel is way better than you ever imagined.
Doc, who do you get more butts from? The regular Joe in the pew, in the seat, or spiritual leaders? Or is it equal?
Definitely spiritual leaders. People think, well, I went to a seminary and I put all my notes in a little blue notebook, and then 10 years later, I'm pulling out the blue notebook to give my sermons, and leave me alone. I've got my movement. I've got my ism. I've got my theology. I've got my schooling. Leave me alone. I'm not going to go back and reevaluate my sermons. I'm not going to go back and reevaluate my message. Leave me alone. And you're wrong, because if you were right, then I would already know this. I would already know this. There's no way that I've got some learning to do. So who do you think you are? And that is the reaction from some, not all, but certainly some, who are mired in legalism, in the gospel of do more, be more, try harder, be radical, get sold out, try to impress God. And, you know, the Sermon on the Mount just kills all of that. You want to impress God? How about you cut off your hand, pluck out your eye, and be perfect? Jesus's point is nobody can do that, and you're going to have to let him serve you. That's what the foot washing was about. We keep trying to serve God, but we got to let him serve us. He's the one that makes us clean and close, and it's humbling, but we got to let him serve us. And that's the counterintuitive message of Gospel Zero.
Doc, always a great time with you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to Gospel 0.2. That'll be the next book, and maybe so on and so forth, because it sounds like a keeper. Dr. Andrew Farley, check out the book. You can get it at Amazon, and the Grace Message. Check him out online or wherever you can hear that show. And we'd love to get back with you, Doc, just kind of a post since the book is fresh out to see how people are responding and what's next for you in almost said 2024. It's 2025. Look out for that. Hey, next week, we're going to have another great message, and we want you to tune in. Don't forget to pass around this podcast. You can put it on your smartphone. You can listen to it wherever, and you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for doing that already with other guests. And this is definitely one that you want to keep and pass around. And don't forget to check out the book, Gospel Zero. Hey, that's it. It's time for us to go. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. I'm Rick Probst. This is Faith Talk Today.